You need a storm in life. You need a storm to find out if you're shipworthy. It's starting to rain in Israel. Where Guy lives, the house has been having some serious water damage. And they had to work on that before winter. Winter came in today. Their winter rains started. And Israel gets serious rainstorms. They'd worked diligently for the past month and a half to try to prepare their home to survive the rains, the flooding rains. And it came, and here comes the test. Now you can do the work, and it looks well on the outside. The towels are laid right, the gutters put up, all kinds of different things you do, and it looks good to you. You try to test it with a water hose. It's not the rain that falls from the sky, is it? Not from the real storm. Can't simulate that. The simulation can only take you so far before you have to actually get out of the simulator and go into the real world, the real environment, and it's much more dangerous. Simulation, what does that do? Gives you an idea. That's about it. But until you're in that real situation, not in that practiced one, that one that you get from sitting in a Bible study group in lawn chairs or on a cushioned pew in a church building, music playing and pizza and donuts and cupcakes in the background, when you're living it for real, which is what makes so many of you so uncomfortable, because you've been living that artificial reality. Everything about your faith has been artificial, and it hasn't been real. And yet the majority of the way you look at your faith is only in the artificial simulation. So when you actually see it breathing, heating in the real world, you're scared, you're uncomfortable, you're nervous, and you don't like it. You want the nursery, daycare. You want that simulation. You want that safe haven so that you can brag about what a wonderful believer you are, how much you love the Lord from listening to songs on a recorder and a stage. The air is perfumed. Your stage is lit up like a concert hall in Vegas. Cushioned seats, everybody's perfumed and coiffed hair and nice suits. Fake smiles and hello, brother, hello, sister. But when you get in the real world and you're out of that simulation, you're a cadet out of the academy and you've got boots on the ground and you're in the mud and the grit and the dirt and the guts, we'll find out just how non-artificial you are and just how real that faith was. And that's what the storm is going to tell them today. Just how good that work was. Did you really lay down those towels right? Did you really fill in the areas with the silicone? Did you really have that right angle to make the water go down and rather than collect and pool? Did you really seal in those holes so you don't get leakage through your walls that cause mold? Here comes the test. The thing that most people don't like, to find out if your ship is seaworthy or not. And you're uncomfortable. Because it was always about just the simulation for you. It was never about the real thing. But for the ones that really know, they can't wait. They're chomping at the bit to get out of that training camp and get in a real war. They're chomping at the bit to leave the docks and go out into the stormy seas. They're chomping at the bit to take off and get 40,000 feet up in the air like a real Top Gun pilot. They're chomping at the bit at a little turbulence, at a little weather. See if they can fly in the eye of that hurricane, come out on the other side. But you're not chomping at the bit for the wrong, for the right. What are you chomping at the bit for? To do? The storm is passing over. The storm is passing over. The storm is passing over. Hallelujah. The storm is here. Now let's see if your ship is worthy and you can weather it.
The first winter rain in Israel. The storm is passing over. The storm is passing over. The storm is passing over. Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.